Welcome back to Garden Ninja, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favourite things, trees. So I'm going to explain today the different options you have when buying trees for your garden or garden design. And there's going to be three types that I'll talk about today. Now the first is going to be the good old trusty bare root, which is probably the cheapest and easiest of trees. The second is going to be a root ball tree, a little bit more expensive, a bit harder to plant. And then the third is the container tree, super easy, the most expensive of the three, but gets you instant results. So come on, let's get cracking. So here we have an example of a bare root tree, and this is a Gladitsia sunburst. Great trees for exposed areas, poor soils. They basically grow anywhere, they're quite vigorous. So I'm going to cut the protective bag off this bare root and show you exactly what a bare root tree looks like in comparison to the root ball. Now bare roots are lifted during the late autumn to early winter when the trees are dormant. So you'll notice that everywhere looks really glib and wet, and that's because it's winter. So this is the bare root, and you can literally see all the roots, the tap roots and the fibrous roots here that have had most of the soil, apart from that bit of bark, taken off. So they need to be kept moist, and then you get them in as quickly as you can. Now here we have some really good examples of root ball trees. Now a root ball tree has been grown in the ground, and then usually a machine will mechanically cut through under the roots and lift it up as a ball. Most of the time, for a high quality root ball, it will have been done a number of times because it encourages more vigorous roots to grow. When it's finally lifted for the last time, it's then wrapped in a hessian and then a wire mesh that keeps all that soil around the roots, so it's got minimal disturbance. They are more expensive than bare roots because they're a lot heavier, and you can usually get more mature trees and shrubs in a root ball than you can do with bare roots. Also, the success rates with root balls are much higher than bare roots. But again, it's all down to the preparation and planting. The sooner you can get them in, the higher the chance of success. And here's a good example of a container grown tree. So they come in a pot or container that they've been in for maybe a matter of months or even years in some cases. And they have really fibrous roots, so the roots have been able to really grow vigorously in that pot. It means that with container grown trees, you can get all sorts of different shapes and varieties. These are a pleach tree, so they're on a frame and have been grown to look a bit like either a square or a rectangle. But you can get huge containers with fully formed trees that might be 12, 15, even 20 metres high. So you've got mass variety with container grown trees. But because they take so long to grow, they're very expensive. But it does mean that if you're doing a garden design, you can get them in and get instant effect. Whether you're planting a container, root ball or bare root tree, you usually need to make sure that the hole that you're digging it for is at least 1.5 times the width of the pot or root ball. Keep it at the same depth as the root ball, pot or bare root. Don't be tempted to dig it in any deeper because this can harm and damage the tree, especially if it's a grafted tree. Always make sure that you stake the tree adequately and use a tree tie that isn't going to rub against the stem of the tree and damage it. So there we have it, my super easy guide to bare roots, root ball and container grown trees. If you've liked this video, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel where there's more garden design, how-to guides and tips. I've been Garden Ninja, happy gardening.